Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the factors that affect climate. So let us proceed to the next page. What are the factors which affect climate? What is climate? Climate means the average daily weather pattern that is calculated up to about 25 years and for the particular area or location. But what are the factors which affect climate? So certain factors are there which affect climate, and due to this the climate differs from one region to another. So there are basically five main types of climatic factors that are: number 1, distance from the sea; number 2, altitude; number 3, proximity to the equator; number 4, ocean currents and wind; and number 5, vegetation and soil. So before we will discuss about the factors, let us see the position of the earth, how the sun rays strike the earth. Since earth is spherical in shape, earth is divided into two zones, the northern and the southern, with the help of equator. So equator is an imaginary line that divide the earth into two equal parts, and there are the parallel lines which are parallel to the equator. So these are called the latitude. So latitude are the parallel lines, imaginary lines that are below and above the equator. So here the parallel lines are called the latitude. So equator we say generally 0 degree Celsius, where 0 degree, whereas the below above is 30 degree north, and here the 30 degrees south. So this is called Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree north, and Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, and Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south. So Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer are there above and below. And just below the Tropic of Capricorn we have the Antarctic Circle, 60 degrees south, and at the pole we have the north south pole, and above the Tropic of Cancer we have the 60 degrees north, called as Arctic Circle. So this is the 60 degree north, and here we have the North Pole, 90 degree. So North Pole and the South Pole will have the 90 degree north and 90 degree south. See here how the sunlight strikes the different parts of the earth. So earth strike maximum heat rays at the equator. Equator we have the maximum heat rays, and slowly the angles the sun heat rays decreases, and it will minimum at the North Pole and the South Pole, and maximum at the earth. Maximum here and minimum there. So the areas which are nearer to the equator will have hot and humid climate, that is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, and just above the climate will become colder and colder. So in this way you will see how the sun rays strike the different parts of the earth. Now let us proceed to the chapter, page number 103, factors affecting climate. So important factors are distance from the equator. So the climate of a place gets colder as we move away from the equator. The areas around the equator receives direct sunlight from the sun throughout the year. Additionally, the sun rays travels a longer distance through the atmosphere to reach the surface of the earth at the poles, contributing to this phenomenon. So that means sun will give the maximum heat at equator and minimum at the north and the south pole, and the areas which are nearer will have the hot and humid climate. As a result, there is hot and humid climate in the places between the Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree north and Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south latitudes. In addition, the presence of ice and snow nearer the poles reflect the solar energy, also contributing to the cold. So this is the first factor which affect the climate. So due to the distance from the equator. See here how the sun rays passes, maximum at the equator and minimum at the north pole and the south pole. Second will be the altitude or height of a place. So temperature of a place decreases with increasing altitude. Height. Temperature usually decreases by 1 degree Celsius for every 100 meters in altitude. So this is why even though certain elevated places like Mount Kilimanjaro are near the equator remain snow covered throughout the year. Mountainous regions generally remain cold throughout the year irrespective of the geographical location. So that's why the mountainous region remains cold due to the height. That at the height the temperature decreases. Number C, the distance from the sea. Climate of two places in similar latitudes and altitude could vary depending on their distance with the oceans or the sea. So the places which are nearer to the sea will have the hot and humid climate. They will have cool in summer and warm in winter. So water bodies heat up and cools down much more slowly than land. Hence, coastal areas tend to be cooler in summer and warmer in winter than places inland. Glasgow, a place in Russia, for example, is at a similar latitude to Moscow, but still it is much milder in winter because it is nearer to the coast than Moscow. So the areas which are nearer to the sea will have much more warmer winter and cooler in summer. Number 4, ocean currents and wind. Both ocean currents, that is warm current and the cold current, and the winds affect the temperature of a place by transporting their heat or coldness into the different adjacent regions. For example, Gulf Stream is a warm ocean that keeps Britain warmer and wetter than other places in continental Europe. So Britain remains warm and wet than other continental because it is nearer to the Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream, which is the area where the warm currents are more compared to the cold current. On the other hand, Canada remains frozen, very cold for several months because it is washed by cold currents such as the cold Labrador currents. So cold current which is coming from the upper part will occupy the Canada, and that's why it remains frozen for several months. Now do you know the thick foliage? Foliage means the leaves, the greeneries or the trees of the Amazon jungle cuts off much of the sun, and in many places sunlight never reaches the ground. So one can still find vast areas of unexplored forest here. So in Amazon jungle there are so much of thick foliage, thick leaves, trees that sunlight does not goes towards the land, and that's why that area is very cold since the land is not get heated. Now see here the picture of the cold and the warm ocean current, how the red color is showing the warm current and the blue color is showing the cold current. How the warm current goes up and the cold current rushes and occupy that space. So in this way the circulation of the current takes place, and the area which are nearer to the warm current will have the warm climate, whereas the area which are nearer to the cold current will have the cold climate. In the same way the wind rushes from the colder regions to the warmer regions, and so that's why the wind which comes from the north pole and the south pole rushes toward the equatorial regions, the area which are nearer to the equatorial region, and the warm air goes up. So in this way the area becomes cold and hot. Next is natural vegetation and soil. So dense means very dense, and dense vegetation, that is the green forest and the trees and the forestry, contributes hugely to bring down the temperature of a particular place. During the daytime, the tree lose water so that the air above it cooled. This also raises the relative humidity of the area and contributes to increased precipitation. Underline this line. That's why in the forest areas we have so much of rainfall, and the area will have the temperature low, so rainfall will be there and temperature will be also very, where there will be the cold climate. In the same way, the soil which are wet like clay retain much moisture. They will absorb much moisture, and they warm up or cool down more slowly, making a difference in the temperature of a place. So wet soils like clay retain much moisture and warms up or cools down more slowly. That's why the temperature, there is a difference in the temperature of that place. So that is about the factors, the 5 factors of a climate. So what are the 5 factors? Number 1 is distance from the oceans, that distance from the equator. Number 2, the height or the altitude. Number 3, the distance from the oceans or the seas. And number 4, that is the ocean current and the wind. And number 5, the vegetation and the soil. So on the basis of this, we have the changes in the climate. Now come to the checkpoint. Name the instrument used in measuring the following: rainfall, rain gauge; temperature, maximum and minimum thermometer; wind direction, weathercock; wind speed, that is anemometer; humidity, hygrometer; maximum and minimum temperature, maximum and minimum thermometer. So in this way you will write the checkpoint in your book, and that's all for today.